Hi, welcome to Daily Dose of Anime Recaps. In this video, we'll be taking a look at episodes 25 through 27 of Swallowed Star. We're at the end of the century when a mysterious virus known as the RR virus appears on Earth's atmosphere, killing 2 billion people and mutating animals into monsters. In an attempt to destroy these monsters, the governments of the world used nuclear weapons. While the monsters survived, human civilization was all but wiped out. 5 nations survived and formed an alliance, providing shelter for humanity in large bases. Much like the animals of Earth, humans have also gained powers, allowing some of them to become warriors. Before we begin, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss the next episodes. The 9th relic has existed for more than 5,000 years. However, nobody has ever opened the elite channel that Luo Feng is currently stuck in. Zhu Xing receives a shocking phone call that stiffens her body, and she drops whatever document she had in hand. Zhu Xing's current mood appears to be perfectly reflected in the weather outdoors. The land and the sky are obscured by ominous dark clouds, with a few thunderclaps here and there. The sky starts pouring teardrops along with Zhu Xing while she travels to Luo Feng's family. His mother opens the door, and she falls into her arms crying. Since he has not been officially considered dead, she believes that he will still return. Nights turn into days, flowers bloom and wither as seasons pass by quickly. Luo Feng's family lives in a gloomy atmosphere, always leaving this chair on the dinner table empty. Nevertheless, Zhu Xing still believes with a heavy heart that he will return to her. Meanwhile, in the secret room, Luo Feng must learn the special technique of the spiritual master on the wall within 3 years. Although food and water are provided throughout the span of time, that is the least of his worries. He is not terrified of dying. He is concerned about the challenge's time limit. If 3 months have passed and the explorer has not left the ruin, then he will be treated as having failed the challenge and will be considered dead. However, his task is to remain here for 3 years. Luo Feng is currently really terrified of how his parents will receive the news of his death and the difficulty it will bring for them. Most importantly, Luo Feng worries Li Yao will seize the chance to exact revenge on his family. The worst part is that he can't even imagine the response Zhu Xing will have to the news. Both had just recently become lovers. These thoughts and his consistently failed attempts are draining his sanity. Even 14 spiritually powered flying blades with a force impact of 7 kilograms of damage is not enough. He punches the wall with bare knuckles as blood pours out and screams in frustration over the fact that a whole year has passed. No matter how hard he tries, his situation only seems to be getting worse day by day. His spirit-powered swords are not enough. He gives in to madness and starts attacking the wall chaotically. In the meantime, considering that an entire year has passed, the martial arts hall issues a notification that confirms the news of Luo Feng's death. Everyone is disappointed that his death will always remain a secret, and they can't even hold a memorial service for him. The ripple effect of the news are as expected. At just the age of 20, Luo Feng is announced dead. All the people who praised him and held him in high regard are emotionally bruised by the news. Even some of his rivals are off because they didn't get the chance to beat him themselves. In contrast to the great sorrow of Zhu Xing and Luo Feng's family, Li Yao and his family fall into ecstasy. Vanina opens a bottle of red wine from her collection and clinks glasses with Li Yao, celebrating Luo Feng's death. Although Luo Feng dies, his relatives are still alive, and without Luo Feng to defend them, there are many ways to make them suffer. Vanina will torture Luo Feng's family in the most vicious way. She wants to punish Luo Feng's family into the abyss step by step. Let them be tortured by despair and pain every day. In the end, she will take their lives. Both of them pay off certain people to attack Luo Feng's parents on purpose. The younger brother of Luo Feng, Luo, is enraged but powerless to stop Li Yao and his wife. He vents his rage by slamming his fists on the wall. The only thing left for him to do at this point is to rely on the enormous sum of wealth left by his brother to fortify the guard around his parents by buying shares in Bank One, which further angers Li Yao. A year and 3 months later, Luo Feng conquers the number 9 relic. Luo Feng discovers the delicate and enigmatic method of destroying the wall. He synchronizes his spirit energy, causing his various versions to combine into him. This results in the formation of the 16th flying blade he needed to break the wall. He hears the announcement that he has successfully passed his death assessment. This is when a figure forms light rays to congratulate him. Luo Feng, who is on guard, fires the spirit blades at it. All the number 9 ruins start to violently vibrate at this point. It appears as if some ancient energy is awakening. The entire set of ruins is enveloped in an enigmatic, alienated air. A great deal of light starts to collect in front of Luo Feng. As he stands bewildered, light rays suddenly merge into human shapes. The figure has a towering build, a bald head, and a transparent body that moves like a stream of dazzling lights. The next episode does not start from where the previous one leaves off. We see the emergency lights at the base station go off as the channel opens. Everyone gathers carrying their weapons, and their jaws drop when they see the person before them. We only see the back of this person, but it doesn't take long for us to find out who it is. The hall leader reported, "Luo Feng is out." For a split second, we see a moment of shock on his face. Luo Feng briefly greets the guards and calls home as soon as he gets his hand on the phone. The person who answers the phone is Luo Feng's father. Apparently, his father is in the hospital bed coughing up blood. The moment he ascertains that the person on the other end of the line is Luo Feng, the father's eyes are already clouded by tears, and he is unable to contain his excitement for his shaking voice. Luo Feng assures him that he will return soon. Luo Hua enters the room, anxious to get his father the best possible medical care. He then notices his father's streams of tears trickling down his cheeks as he calmly and smilingly announces Luo Feng is back. Luo Hua receives word of his brother's return just as he was beginning to believe he was really gone, causing him to drop and shatter the glass he was carrying. You've got to give it to Zhu Jin for her loyalty and patience. It has been a year and a couple of months, and she is still sitting at a table with coffee and pictures of Luo Feng. She daydreams about Luo Feng, but then he vanishes to dust. As she cups her hands around her face in hopelessness, her phone starts ringing. She takes a peek at the caller's ID, and the melancholy in her eyes turns into anticipation. She doesn't waste a second responding to the call. The news of Luo Feng's return reaches Li Yao as well. Vanina is anxious because she is aware that after Luo Feng returns, he will come to get revenge on both of them. But it is not just Vanina who is trembling with fear. Li Yao is so terrified that he can't even grab his glass of wine, with his hand shaking uncontrollably. As soon as the hall leader, Hong, is informed about Luo Feng's return, he flies a fighter jet himself to meet Luo Feng right away. Never before has this most powerful guy on the earth shown such affection for a young warrior. He has never personally greeted guests, let alone personally welcomed one. This highlights Luo Feng's importance to Hong. Luo Feng briefly discusses his experience at the number 9 ruins with Hong. While they are in the air and the leader signals the rest of the crew members to leave the room, Luo Feng decides not to share all the information with Hong for some reason, but he disclosed that due to his relatively high brain field, he was given a special death mission, the reward of which was a dark black god armor and a mental master training method. Although what he shared was all true, Luo Feng was clearly hiding something, and Hong's expression seemed like he knows that too. But he decided to trust Luo Feng. While Luo Feng hands over his dark armor to Hong and leaves to meet his family, we are shown a flashback of what actually happened with the bald blue light man whom Luo Feng refers to as the Water Crystal Man. Apparently, he did not disclose the entire information to keep the secret Luo Feng made to him. When the Water Crystal Man appeared, Luo Feng was on guard and his flying swords ready. The mysterious man raises his hand to delete all the information on Luo Feng's watch about the exam. He informs Luo Feng to keep it secret, even when he leaves the ruins. The tone of the Water Crystal Man's voice, which has a metallic sound and is devoid of emotion, shows that he is not a human. He has the wisdom of a highly developed civilization. Luo Feng can tell the crystal bald man in front of him is a high-level civilization from the cosmos just by looking at him. This man possesses technology that is significantly superior to the state of the Earth today. The master of the number 9 ruins is this water crystal guy. Nevertheless, he is an extraordinarily intelligent AI rather than a living being. He has been watching Luo Feng and guiding him throughout the exam. Luo Feng is the first person to trigger this special death assessment after 150,000 years. The crystal guy presents Luo Feng with the assessment prize, and after a quick self-introduction. Although there was more risk and hardship, there were also numerous benefits. 4 prizes total are given to Luo Feng, including the token needed to enter the meteorite. In other words, it has established the identity of Luo Feng as a descendant of the meteorite. The meteorite is a mysterious place in the universe. After thorough observation, elites are filtered into Meteorite Star. However, he has lost contact with the meteorite and thinks something might have happened to it. The Water Crystal Man offers Luo Feng all his gifts after explaining the meteorite meteorite. The regular prize or the Black God outfit comes first. The second is an arm guard with an auxiliary light brain that has an intellect greater than the AI on Earth. The third is a cheat which was created especially for Luo Feng in connection with a powerful weapon on his body that Luo Feng initially believed to be something ordinary, the flying blades. He received these flying knives from Hong as weapons. This unique weapon has a lot of potential though. He receives the cheat from the crystal guy, which contains instructions for using his weapon. The entire time, Luo Feng's expression is sluggish as he attempts to process the information. Crystal Man's statements have left him shocked. The Water Crystal Man seemed to have anticipated Luo Feng's response in this manner. However, since Luo Feng is already a meteorite descendant, therefore he is qualified to hear these announcements. He continues to introduce Luo Feng to the important ranks of the universe's powerhouses. The war god powerhouses on Earth are but apprentices and incredibly weak creatures when viewed in context of the entire cosmos. The next is the powerhouse of the Star Travelers, separated into levels 1 through 9. Hong, the Hall leader, is a 6th Star Traveler. Luo Feng has the potential of becoming a Star Traveler. After Star Travelers comes the rank of Star Powerhouse. Above all this is the universe level, which is the real deal. After hearing this information, Luo Feng gradually regains his composure. He takes a deep breath and notices that the universe is much larger than he had thought. The Water Crystal Man bids Luo Feng farewell and instructs him to keep this information a secret and to defend the Earth from powerful attacks. Up until he gets home, Luo Feng is in a cheerful state of mind. When he lands, he notices some people have surrounded his house. They're the special division that his younger brother had hired to protect their parents. Although Luo Feng knew that Li Yao would make a move in his absence, but he didn't expect him to stoop to such a low level. He enters the house and is shocked to see his parents and younger brother. The haggard appearance of his mother makes her look 10 years older. What's worse is that his father is unable to leave his bed because of a major injury. Luo Feng is informed after he inquires. Li Yao had vowed to exact frenzied revenge on Luo Feng's family after his death was officially declared. He continuously employed people to use derogatory language to verbally assault Luo Feng's mother. Li Yao and his wife also planned for the truck to hit Luo Feng's father on purpose. Fortunately, Luo Feng's father was still alive, although he had suffered significant injuries and needed to spend a lot of time in bed. After learning all this, Luo Feng shakes with rage. He utilizes all the gifts the Water Crystal Man had given him. Using brainlight technology, Luo Feng confirms the location of Li Yao and his wife. Meanwhile, Li Yao and Vanina are using every single brain cell they might have left to strategize their escape. There are only 3 hours left until Luo Feng arrives, but their private jet is taking forever to come to their rescue. It seems like Li Yao had a change of plan, as he decided that escaping through a private jet will not be safe. Vanina does not agree with him and they both bicker. Li Yao believes that since they are in a base city and Luo Feng is a responsible person, he wouldn't want to mess up the place by fighting here. In just 2 seconds, Luo Feng proves them wrong. He makes an entrance while breaking the glass, going straight for Vanina's head. Li Yao steps in the middle to protect his wife and deflects the flying blade. Everything happens in a fraction of a second. Luo Feng activates his armor and is prepared to end Li Yao and his wife once and for all. Although 2 versus 1 might seem unfair, Luo Feng is enough to overpower both of them. On one hand, there is Vanina and Li Yao synchronizing their attacks and spiritual energies, and on the other hand, it is just Luo Feng and his flying blades. However, after the interaction with the Water Crystal Man, Luo Feng's control of the flying blades is better than ever. He sends Li Yao and Vanina flying through the walls with bits and pieces of furniture everywhere. As he walks on his flying blades, he asks Li Yao what made him think he could touch his family and go unharmed. Before Li Yao could reach his sword, Luo Feng attacks him with every single flying blade he has. Vanina takes the opportunity to attack Luo Feng from the back. If she thought she could take him on while he's unguarded, she was wrong. Luo Feng kicks her away into oblivion. Luo Feng gives the last ultimatum to Li Yao to come with him to the Martial Hall. However, Li Yao would rather die than give up his stubbornness. After that, Luo Feng basically plays soccer using Li Yao's body as the ball. After Li Yao has been tossed around mercilessly, Luo Feng entraps him and sends his flying blade at him. When the blade is only inches away, Vanina threatens Luo Feng with a bomb she has planted all around the base city. She announces that if he hurts her husband, they will die along with tens of thousands of people. She is smart as hell for that. As angry as Luo Feng might be, and as much as he loves his family, he would never let go of his moral moral values, and Vanina exploits that. Luo Feng breathes heavily and imagines a scene where he crushes Li Yao's body and blood splatters everywhere. Luo Feng gives up, and that is when Inspector Zhu intervenes. Everyone starts pointing fingers at each other, but Inspector Zhu commands Luo Feng to let Li Yao, as killing without a trial is an offense. Luo Feng complains about Li Yao. Before Inspector Zhu leaves, he tells Luo Feng to gather evidence for his accusation that Li Yao tried to hurt his family. Without wasting any more time, Luo Feng asks his brother about the department he acquired help from. He then meets Ah Wen, who is now working at the security agency. He asks him for any clues against Li Yao. Luckily, they come across footages of people harassing, attacking, and insulting Luo Feng's parents. Li Yao's main goal had been traumatizing them for the long term. Although Luo Feng is burning with rage, he knows a physical fight won't do anything, and the court is the only solution with the evidence he has obtained. Now that Li Yao and Vanina are no longer his problems, Luo Feng focuses on the promise he made to the water crystal to protect the Earth against foreign cosmic races. He also has to level up and surpass the level of War God, which he almost has since he can control 16 flying blades. Lastly, Luo Feng takes care of the most important task, which is meeting up with Zhu Jin. They both embrace each other while Luo Feng apologizes for taking too long to return. Zhu Jin is afraid that there are secrets that Luo Feng keeps buried in his heart. Although she is right, there is nothing Luo Feng can do about it. The episode ends as we wonder, will these two be the endgame? In the next episode, we find out that Luo Feng has been promoted to the position of Inspector General, and he is surpassing the War God level. Although Luo Feng is ready to accept his dangerous task, he doesn't believe he is qualified for it. However, the danger excites him, and higher-ups are aware of that, which is why they know he is suitable for the job. Luo Feng is happy to hear that Li Yao and Vanina will probably be sentenced to death and executed. While Li Yao and Vanina are handcuffed on a jet surrounded by warriors that are heavily armed, they both are still busy strategizing to make an escape. Li Yao distracts them by engaging them in a conversation and hijacks the jet. Their weapon cuts the entire jet, including warriors and their weapons, into two halves. They both land on the ground with not a single scratch on them. The security bureau surrounds them, and a fight ensues. They both have become skilled in combat to an extent that the bureau has to call for reinforcements. It seems like Luo Feng will not be needing any new rivals soon, as Li Yao and Vanina annihilate the entire security bureau squad. Luo Feng finds out that they have headed to Europe to HR Alliance headquarters to gain protection from local forces. He decides to submit the evidence against Li Yao to obtain arrest orders. As soon as Li Yao and Vanina land at the airport, they meet Elder Yi Site. He crumples their jet with his mere hand as if it's paper. He gives them two options: either get arrested or die at his hands. Senior Yanhai interrupts the conversation and informs Li Yao and Vanina that as per the highest order of War God Palace, no one is allowed to help them, and judgment will be passed on their case tomorrow. Will Luo Feng get rid of this villainous duo once and for all, or will they make another escape attempt and succeed? We will find out in the next couple of episodes, and if you're a subscriber with notifications enabled, you'll find out soon enough too.